hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. Today I have more Easter DIYs for you using items from the Dollar Tree. I put together 15 of my favorite Easter Dollar Tree DIYs. So let's get started. We're going to use actually 2 of these wreath rings from the Dollar Tree. They're the really large 18-inch ones. And we're going to do kind of like a little nest Easter egg thing. I've seen people do this, so I thought I would try to give my take on one of these. Basically, you're just going to use it as a cage. So I turn it upside down. And then what I want to do is just fill it with greenery. I have some of this lamb's ear left over from Walmart. This was just like one long continuous piece I got at Walmart, and I've used it for many projects. Hence why it's all like cut up, but we're just going to kind of piece it together and it's going to be totally fine. You could kind of use any kind of greenery you wanted. I've seen people do it with just Spanish moss, but I think the greenery really adds something to it, and I really like the feel of the lamb's ear. So we're just going to use Dollar Tree eggs, the little pastel speckled eggs. Super easy, right out of the box. You're not going to have to do anything to them. So I picked up 2 packages of these from Dollar Tree, and we're going to use almost all of them. I'm just matching colors and alternating the sides so they're like kind of directly across from each other. The blue and the like green are really kind of very similar. I'm going to end up using all except for the white. I just didn't need that many, and I just really like the feel of the pastels. But if you had less greenery, you could make it a little tighter in there. And it's so easy because we're just going to sandwich the eggs in side of a second wreath form from the Dollar Tree. And you're just using the cages to hold all of that in there, and it really gives you a cool little effect, and so easy just using the wreath forms. So on the second one, I'm just going to sit it right side up so the like concave surface is on the inside, and then attach it on there like that. So I'm just going to kind of line up the crossbars so it'll kind of make sense. And it's okay if some of the greenery pokes out. I think that looks really cool. And just kind of spacing out my eggs, making sure it's like fairly even. And then I just need to secure them. I thought the best way to secure the 2 cages together would just be some zip ties from Dollar Tree. So I don't want it to be real obvious though. So I'm going to go in and do like the middle row and just zip tie those 2 together. And I can always disguise that a little bit because we are going to fill this with Spanish moss as well. So I want it to be fairly secure. So I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side. Now, when you're pulling it together, you want it to be tight enough to like keep the eggs in place, but not so tight that it like starts to like squish the eggs. Just a medium amount of pressure. And since it's so large and it's going to go outside, I'm going to go ahead and do the top and bottom too, just by doing that middle one. So a total of 4 zip ties is what I'm going to use. Just trying to work on my spacing before I get the last one in there, because after that, it's going to be kind of hard to move them around. And you can do this with any of the eggs. They also have the gold ones from Dollar Tree. And then Target Dollar Spot has like the white speckled ones that kind of look like real eggs. That'd be pretty too. So I just cut off the rest of my zip ties. And I'm kind of tucking in my leaves a little bit just to kind of keep the shape. But I don't mind if they peek out a little bit. Now I want to fill it up to kind of make it look like a bird's nest. So I'm going to fill it up with just Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree. I just used 1 package and just kind of pulling out like a little section at a time and working it in the section in between the little Easter eggs. And you can kind of use that there. I'm kind of wrapping it around that zip tie. It helps to kind of disguise that too. I'm just trying to fill up like any of the empty space in there. And it really gave it a cool like nest-like feel. My son was a big fan of this project. He really liked it. And it was so easy. I mean, think about how much work a wreath can be. And just using like the empty wreath cages is a win-win. So one package of that Spanish moss is plenty. I'm just going to go ahead and use the whole thing. And it is going to make a little bit of mess on your work surface, so be aware. Now, I kind of wanted it to have like something hanging down in between, and I thought one of those little wooden bunnies from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. It's just the right size. These are just the white ones that they have, which would be really cute if you had like a colored front door. But I have a white front door, so I kind of need my little bunny to be a color. So I'm going to paint mine Caribbean blue, which is just an acrylic paint. Just another pastel color. This goes great with Easter, but it also goes with my coastal beachy decor in my house. I have a lot of blue. And so I'm just going to go over it with one thin coat. And it actually allowed some of that white to peek through. And it kind of gave it a little bit of a distressed feel. So just a very thin coat. Super cute. I'm not going to decorate him any more with any other paint colors, but I thought it would be cute if he had a little bunny tail. So I'm just going to use a little pom-pom. I think I got this at the Target dollar spot. You can use whatever you've got. I know Dollar Tree has like pink ones like this and little craft stuff, and you can use, these are the pink ones. You could also use like the little snowballs. They have all different kinds of options. But I kind of like the pom-pom feel, and I kind of like the blue and the white. Goes with my colors. And so I'm just going to attach that to the bunny bum with hot glue. And that's really the only decor I'm going to do on there. You know, if you wanted to put your last name or something on there, that could be really cute as well. I'm just going to take some twine now, tying that off in the front of my little bunny. And then I'm just going to cut that twine and then string it up through the top of my wreath. So it's just going to kind of hang in there, but kind of going through in the middle so it's not too obvious. And then going back down through so like it is like attached to the top rail of it, and then tie that back off on the bunny. Just a really simple hanger, and it hung in there perfectly. It's just the right size. Now I wanted to do a bow too to make it nice and festive for Easter, and I'm going to use some of this light blue Easter ribbon they have from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to make a nice simple bow. It's nice and thick, and it's two-sided, so you don't have to do any twisting. I just do 2 hoops on each side, measuring out a tail, cutting that down to size, and then just using a zip tie to make an easy peasy bow. This isn't like really wired very much, but I think it's big enough. It keeps its shape pretty well. So then I'm just going to pull down my second tail and fluff up this bow the best that we can. I thought a nice festive bow would look cute. I kind of wanted to do the bow on the top, but I felt like it kind of took away from the bunny ears. And so I'm actually going to hang this on the bottom. I'm just going to simply dovetail the ends of our bow. And that's what it looks like on top. That's what it looks like on the bottom. So we're just going to attach it on there with just a little bit of twine going across that wire hanger in the middle and just simply tying it on. Now I was trying to decide what I wanted to decorate that with more. You could use like Easter egg, any like of like the little wood cutouts from the Dollar Tree would be really cute on there as well. I kind of wanted like a nest feel. And I did have a little bird's nest left over just from, I have no idea where I got this, but it'd probably be pretty easy to make with Spanish moss if you were to wind it in a circle like that and you had some little eggs to put in there. I thought that would be cute though. So I'm just going to hot glue that in the center of the bow to finish off this cute little Easter wreath. It's really a nice size wreath, and I think this is going to look really cute on my front door for Easter. So just making sure my hot glue is dry because that nest is a little bit larger than something I would normally glue on there. So I am going to reinforce it with a little bit more hot glue, and that's all there is to this DIY. I really like all the pastel colors. I think they're so pretty for spring. And this is how it looks hanging on my door. I think it's just really sweet. I love the pastels and all of the little Easter touches on this wreath. It was really easy to put together, and it's a nice large wreath to hang on your front door for Easter. Okay, our next DIY is going to be really easy. I picked up one of these bicycle wreath forms from the Dollar Tree, and I was trying to think of some way to like kind of replicate like a bicycle tire around it because it's just the frame, there's no tire. And so I picked up one of these little steering wheel covers from the automotive section at Dollar Tree, and I thought a steering wheel is about the same size, so I thought this could work. And so I'm just going to simply slide it on the edges. And at first I was thinking it was not going to be large enough to go all the way around it, but it was actually the perfect size. Just pull it tight and pull it around. And I got the white one because I thought that would look like a little white bicycle tire for like a little coastal Easter bike. And it worked perfect. How easy was that? We have a little bike tire. And then I found a really cute Easter sign that I want to put on the front, but I want to do a little greenery as well. I picked this up at the Target dollar spot for $5 the other day. It's like that same like lamb's ear, but it's already got greenery. It's got pastel Easter eggs on it. It's all wired and ready to go. For $5, I could not resist. It's on there pretty good and tight, but basically I'm just going to use this entire garland to wrap it around there, and you could kind of use whatever you've got, but I think that it added a little extra something special to it. I'm going to try to see how much I can cover here. I just kind of wire it on. I end up not doing that, going around it like that, but I'm just kind of measuring out to see if one row was enough, but I kind of thought that I needed to use all of it. Kind of like that. So we're going to go with that, easy peasy. I am going to cut it in half just to make it easier to attach it. So I just cut the wire. And then I'm just going to wire this to itself to create one ring. It might be easier to just wrap that around than to trim it, but I did trim that one down. And then I'm going to do the same thing here with the second one. That way I could put the eggs exactly where I wanted them, because there was one section of the tire that I really didn't want eggs because I want to put a Dollar Tree sign there. So I'm going to kind of work with it until it looks just like I like it. So the section there on the bottom right doesn't really have any eggs, so that's going to be perfect. Now I'm just going to tie the two wreaths together with some twine, and then I'm also going to just string that and tie that around our little faux bicycle tire. And then I'm also going to use that just to make a hanger just by tying a knot in the end. It's going to attach the greenery on there, and it serves as a wreath hanger. Now you could use this as a wreath or just a wall hanging. I think I'm just going to use mine as a wall hanging, but I thought it was a little fun touch. I always like bicycles for spring. So that's what we have so far. And then check out this cute little bunny, a bicycle Easter sign that I got at Dollar Tree the other day. It's riding like a little blue bicycle with Easter eggs in its basket, baby bunnies, got a carrot on there. I just take the hanger off. I'm also going to take off the little hanging Happy Easter sign that was hanging below it. I just really want the bicycle. And it's a little large to attach to this, but I think we can make it work. Just kind of putting it to the bottom and to the right. I don't want to cover up like the shape of the bicycle wheel in there. I want you to be able to see that so you can tell what it is. Otherwise, I would probably put it like right in the center. So to attach it, it's pretty lightweight. I'm just going to use hot glue and attach it to the steering wheel cover just by hot gluing both ends of the bike on there. And this DIY was just really easy to put together. I think that's all it needs. I'm going to add a little bit more hot glue under there to secure it. But I love the feel of that, and I love that garland from the Target Dollar Spot. It's so fun. And my steering wheel cover idea was a success. You never know what you're going to find wandering around Dollar Tree. And let me show you how this cute little bike wheel, little wreath turned out. So cute. Again, we have the pastel colors, but it's completely different feel than the first Easter wreath that we did. And I know that Dollar Tree Plus at least has really cool like little Easter garland with greenery, flowers, and eggs. That could be really cute too. Okay, our next DIY, I'm going to use one of these little galvanized metal buckets that they have all the time at Dollar Tree. And I thought we could make a little carrot bucket, like little greenery plant, right? So the handle is kind of in my way and I did not really want to remove it. So to kind of deal with it, I'm just going to wrap it in twine. This is that thicker twine from Walmart. You could kind of use whatever you want. In the end, you're not going to be able to see this too much, but I wanted it to be decorative in case you could see it. I want to make like a carrot pot and have greenery in the middle to make it look kind of like a carrot plant. Just kind of a little greenery display. It's not really a floral display. And so I'm just going to wind that all the way around the little metal handle until I get to the other end. I found that I could go around it like 3 or 4 times and then pull the tail loose without hitting too much resistance. I think I cut my twine a little bit longer than needed, which probably made it a little bit harder than it needed to be. And so I do start trimming it once I start getting to the end, realizing that I have more than enough twine. I always like cutting it longer though, because you don't want to run out for sure. But basically, I'm just trying to wrap it so tight that you can't even see the little metal in there. And we're going to rig this where it's going to stand straight up, so it's not going to get in any of the way of the carrots. So I keep wrapping until I get to the very other end, and then I'm just going to tie it off like I did on the other end. No glue or anything for this, just tying it on both sides and then cutting off the excess twine. Now, the carrots I'm going to use are the little string wrapped carrots from the Dollar Tree. They have these in the small, these are kind of like the medium size ones. And I thought it'd be really cute to line the little bucket with the carrots on the outside. So I'm going to start at the side, and I'm going to sandwich that handle in between 2 of the carrots, just going to stand them straight up, making sure they're not so long that they're going to interfere with this thing standing on its bottom. And see, when I sandwich the 2 there, it makes the handle stay up and kind of keeps the handle out of the way. But if you had a pot this small that didn't have the handle, that would work really great as well. I wanted something a little bit smaller than the carrot, and so the carrot was kind of the star of the show. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here on the other handle, putting 2 more carrots on this side. And just simply hot gluing those onto the side of the bucket, it was really easy to attach these. And then I'm just going to continue those little string wrapped carrots all the way around. I kind of measure out, I can fit 4 more. So let's see, that's a total of 12 carrots, I think, we're going to use to go all the way around. This size little bucket. And if you couldn't find a galvanized metal one, you could always use a colored one as well. Sometimes they have like the mint green ones or other colors that are kind of monochromatic. They'd be fine too, because you're not going to be able to see very much. But I like the galvanized metal. So I got that side complete. Now I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side by gluing the other 4 carrots. And they almost fit perfectly. There is a tiny space in between. So I'm just trying to kind of space those out a little bit. And we have our little carrot bucket. This was so easy and it turned out just so cute. Now it's time to fill it. Isn't it cute? I love that idea. And I have one of those little foam greenery circles from the Dollar Tree. I love buying these for these little buckets from the Dollar Tree because they fit in there absolutely perfect. So just going to slide that in through the handle. And normally I would cover that up with moss or something, but the greenery that we're going to use is about the same color, so I didn't think it would really matter. I'm going to use some of this foliage that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I think it really looked like the top of like a carrot plant. I thought for a second about cutting what was on the carrots off, but I kind of like it as is, so I left those all alone. I'm going to use a total of 2 of these little greenery plants. They're just called foliage. But I'm going to cut them all apart first using some of those floral scissors from the Dollar Tree to make it easier to arrange. So the hardest part is just getting that tag off. And then we're just going to start building this out. I was a little worried about that green foam, but in the end, it really did just all blend together. Greens and greens. So I'm just going to go all the way around the edges. That was how far one group of the foliage got me. And I was originally going to use 3, but 2 was plenty to fill this up. Once I go all the way around the edges, I'm just going to use the remaining pieces to fill in the inside. And just kind of arranging it and making sure that it looks nice. I liked the fact that I didn't really have to cut them down in size very much. They fit in there just perfectly. And let me show you how this cute little carrot basket turned out. I guess it's called a carrot plant. I think it looks so fun for Easter. And here's how it turned out. Isn't it cute? I'm really loving that idea. And you could use that like on a basket as well. And really any kind of shape too. You can just line it with some of those cute little string carrots from the Dollar Tree. I really love those. Okay, the next DIY, I'm going to use a long piece of foam that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And I thought it would be really fun to try to make a carrot gnome. I thought a carrot is like the shape of a gnome hat or a gonk. And so I thought we could try it, right? And the foam I thought would be just the right size. It's going to serve a couple purposes, you'll see. I just measured about halfway down the center, and then using a ruler, I am just kind of carving a line in the foam with my pen, so I'll know exactly where to cut it. Now, this is one of the little pool noodle knives from the Dollar Tree, but you can kind of use whatever you have, but this did work pretty well. And we're just going to saw this down into a triangle. When I first thought about making a carrot gnome, I was going to use, I have some of those wreath forms with the witch's hat left over from Halloween. But in the end, I decided this would work better, and I wanted to give you an option that was something that was being sold at the stores. And, you know, not everybody's going to have a witch hat like laying around. So I carved that down, and we have our little carrot. Now I need to cover it with fabric, and I picked up some of this felt from the Dollar Tree, and they have a nice bright orange piece in there that I think is going to be just perfect. I kind of thought about using some orange burlap to wrap around there, but I thought this might be the easiest route. So it's just the right length to cover it, and I want to be able to cover the sides of the carrot as well. And you can see that greenery off to the side that we just used in the last carrot DIY. We're going to use that to actually make the gnome beard. And this just turned out so cute. So I flipped it over and I used hot glue to attach that to the back. But you know how hot glue and foam reacts? It really kind of melts it poorly. So I thought I had it attached, and then it like started popping back off. So my trick usually to hot glue to foam is just to use Dollar Tree masking tape. And that's what I switch to after I do finally get this glued down. It just works way better, and then it prevents the foam from being melted. So the other side, I'm going to tape that down. And painter's tape could probably work the same as this. And I'm going to wrap that around just by hot gluing that to the tape. I do have a little bit of excess fabric, but no big deal. Once I get it glued down to the back, I can just trim that off. And that sheet of felt was just about the perfect size. So I cut off that little triangle there. And we have our little carrot. I'm going to cut off the two corners on the bottom. Now, the top part, you could still kind of see the foam through there. So I just trimmed off the very end. And I do have a few, little tiny scrap pieces of that felt. And so I just cut down a little piece and just kind of sandwiched it in there, just to kind of cover that exposed foam. Now it's time to make the beard. So we're going to use that same foliage. I think this really looks like a carrot. So I want the gnome to look like an upside down carrot. I want the carrot greens to be its beard and the carrot to be his hat. And it actually was so easy to put this together, and it just turned out so cute. So again, I'm just cutting all of that greenery off. I'm going to use two for this one as well. And just cutting them down. Trying to get brave and cutting more than once. And now it's time to build the beard. And this is where the foam comes in handy, because you can just stick it right into the foam to start building the beard. I'm going to kind of do a back row first, just kind of spacing those out and sliding those into the foam. If you didn't have foam, you could always make this with foam board as well, but you would need to be like gluing these down to the back of it. So I thought the foam would make it easier, and I really liked how easy this was. I just used the remaining pieces to kind of do the front of the beard. Not as many pieces on the front, but I think two of those little floral arrangements are plenty of that greenery. So we've got the hat, we've got the beard. Now we need a nose. I was thinking first about using an Easter egg, but I really kind of wanted a round, normal, like little gonk nose. So I'm just going to use a wood bead that I have. I get those larger ones like that on Amazon, and they're always available in my shop below. I'm just going to leave it like the natural wood. There's so many options that you could use for a nose. You could use a knob, anything kind of round. Circular. I'm just going to hot glue that to the greenery right there in front of the hat. And then to kind of do like a brim of the hat to kind of, seal up the bottom of the carrot and go over the nose a tiny bit. I thought some of this green mesh ribbon from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. You guys see me use this all the time for like a fishing net thing, but I thought the green would be really cute for spring. So I just cut a piece down to size. I'm going to kind of fold it in half and double it up. So you're going to kind of be able to see through it, but I think that's fine. And then I'm just going to have to tape the back because, again, we're going to hot glue to that foam again. I don't want that to melt or be difficult. And then just wrap that around, hot gluing that to the back. Super easy. And it kind of, gives you a nice little brim, but it also kind of goes with the greenery feel of the beard. Now I want to make a hanger for the back, and so I'm just going to use a little piece of Dollar Tree twine. Simply going to loop it and knot the end to make a little hanger that we can attach to the back of our carrot. This would be really cute too if you wanted to do it on a bigger scale for like a front door wreath. So I just attached that to the felt with hot glue. And I love him. He's so cute. I did go ask my son what he needed, and he said it needs lines like a carrot. The carrot has like the little stringy looking lines all over it when it's fresh from the garden. And I thought, oh, I could really replicate that with some of that Dollar Tree twine that we used for the hanger, just by gluing it to the back and simply wrapping it around my carrot. It provided a little bit of detail, and it probably is going to actually help keep that felt on there as well. Just kind of spacing that out. The last piece, I kind of feed it through that green ribbon that we have so I can kind of get it all the way to the edge. I think that was the perfect final touch. I'm going to hot glue that to the back of that masking tape back there. And that's all there is to this little carrot gnome DIY. I absolutely love this little guy. He's so cute. I got the idea for this because I had made something kind of similar in the fall with leaves, like leaves as a beard. And I was trying to think, what could make a cute gnome? And I was like, a carrot. A carrot's perfect. So it really kind of looks like an upside down carrot. So fun and whimsical. So this is how it looks hanging in my home for Easter. Isn't he cute? I just absolutely love that idea. I hope you do too. And here's a photo of it if you'd like to take a screenshot of it. I wanted to make kind of an Easter egg topiary. And I got one of these little buckets at the end of Christmas, actually after Christmas. I never saw them during Christmas, but it's just a galvanized metal bucket that was just the size I wanted, but it did say hope on it. And I just wanted to remove that to kind of make it plain. So I'm just using fingernail polish remover. At first, I didn't think it was going to come off. It was kind of resisting a little bit because I think it was a little bit sealed, but with a little elbow grease, a paper towel, and some fingernail polish remover, I was able to get all of that paint off of there. And what I want to do is I want to make a topiary tree that has like eggs on it that kind of looks like a nest feel. And I kind of wanted to make it coastal to kind of go with my colors. So if you saw any of my Valentine's Day glam DIYs, I used the little flexible cutting mats from the Dollar Tree to make Valentine's Day trees. And so I'm going to kind of do something similar with one. So I just put rocks in the bottom of that just to weigh it down. And this is the green mat from the Dollar Tree. Totally doesn't matter if yours is clear or green. I just had a green one. It goes with my color scheme. So I just roll it simply into the shape of a cone, and I kind of see if it's going to fit in there, and it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to hot glue the tip down. It's just a really inexpensive way to get a cone shape because you get 2 of these in a package for $1.25. And I love that this color is perfect. That was a win-win. So you're kind of left with this end here that you need to trim. So I just cut off that corner and it fits in there just fine. I put the pebbles in there. You could put anything in there. I just like my arrangements like this to be stable, and I don't want it to be tipping over anything. So you could kind of just put it in there by gravity. I thought I would put a little hot glue in there to kind of keep it in place. And then we can start building this little Easter egg topiary. I think it's called a topiary, right? I think it is. Let me know in the comments below. So I have it in there, and now we can start decorating it with Easter eggs. Again, I'm just going to use these little speckled eggs that you get at Dollar Tree to make it super easy. No painting or speckling these eggs, making a big mess. But I did want mine to have a coastal feel, and so I'm going to try to pick out coastal colors that's going to go good with my decor. But if you wanted yours to be pastels, you could use all the colors. So easy. I thought I would just use blue, the green, mint green, and the white. So I'm just going through several packages and picking out those colors, and we can just start building. Since we have that plastic cutting mat, I thought the plastic eggs would glue on there just fine. And so I just start gluing them on. And I'm just gonna kind of continue gluing the Easter eggs all around the cone shape, just kind of in a random pattern, kind of alternating the colors as I go. And I'm kind of doing them all upright, but kind of tilting them randomly as well. I figured you probably couldn't see it very well at that angle, so I decided to try to hold it like this for you guys. And as you can see, like if I don't have any of that color around it, I pick that color of egg and just kind of keep building, kind of random, wherever it's going to fit. And we're going to go back and fill in the rest of it with Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree, so it's going to look nice and full. You could also do this with reindeer moss. That might be really pretty too. I kind of wanted the nesty feel that we had on that Easter egg wreath that we made at the beginning. So I ended up using a total of 4 packages, but again, I only used 3 eggs out of each package. Actually, even less. I think I had a white left over, but I think that's pretty good coverage for my little topiary tree. So this is the Spanish moss that we're going to use from the Dollar Tree as well. And I found what worked best for this was just to kind of grab a bunch, and it kind of strings out like kind of naturally. And you can just start stringing that around. We're going to start at the very top of my cone. So I'm just going to put a little hot glue along the top and glue that down. Be careful if you're using hot glue like this, not to burn yourself. It can get a little squirrely when you're working with this, but I wrapped it around the little blue Easter egg. And then I'm just going to keep wrapping it around the eggs until like all of the space in between them is filled with moss. If I need to trim it down like that, then I do. I don't want too much, just enough to fill all that in. So I'm going to keep working my way down. And I love the colors on this. This turned out so cute. My family was a big fan of this. It really goes with the coastal vibe of my house. And it looks really cute for Easter. It almost looks like, you know, like robin eggs, like in a nest, but built into a cute little topiary. If you were to use reindeer moss, you could get like the same look with pastels with like a green moss. I don't know if it would string together quite as well as this, but that would be really cute. You could do some little flowers in there as well if you wanted to do that root. And I just keep working. That's about how far one package went. I do think I did have to open another package here at the end and just use a little bit just to make sure that I got it really good and full. I found that the hot glue was so hot that I was having to use a tool to kind of push it down in there because sometimes you could even burn yourself through those little finger protectors from the Dollar Tree. I know at least my hot glue gun is like extremely hot. So I did open another package just to make sure that it was completely full, but I didn't use very much out of the second package. And you could use like the bucket that we used for the carrot thing. You could use any kind of like little tiny flower pots that you wanted for this, or you could even make yours bigger, like a bigger scale. So I got it all glued down. Now I'm just going to give it a quick trim just to kind of shape it up a little bit and kind of cut off any wild pieces that are sticking out in any direction. And again, just like the wreath before, put something down because it's going to kind of definitely make a mess working with this stuff. Or it could be a good outdoor project as well. With my wireless hot gun, you can kind of take stuff outside if you want to. So just giving it a quick trim. I really liked it like that. I love the colors. I love the galvanized metal. I thought though that I could add one more little coastal touch by adding just a little bit of burlap to that galvanized metal bucket. So I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree burlap ribbon and just cut a piece off to size. There's not a lot of slope on this pot, so it's easy to just circle that around there and glue it to itself. So I'm just trying to find my back, even though both sides of it looked pretty good. And I'm just going to hot glue that tightly around the back of it. I'm not going to decorate it any more than that, but you totally could if you wanted to. But I just love this. Isn't this cute for Easter? If you were to buy this, it would definitely cost quite a bit. Here it is, our little egg topiary in coastal beachy blue colors. And I think it would be really cute in any of the pastel colors as well. Such a fun piece to make, and this would be really expensive if you tried to purchase that, I'm sure. Okay, the next DIY, I thought we could take some of these little terracotta pots from the Dollar Tree. They're so cute. You get 2 in a package and a little tinsel bunny head from the Dollar Tree. And I thought we could make a little topiary bunny head for Easter. So I don't really want my pot to be that terracotta color. Even though it is a pastel color, you could totally get away with that for Easter. I want mine to be blue. So I'm just going to go over it with a thin coat of Caribbean blue all over, just to kind of give me that coastal vibe. Super easy. I'm not going to paint like the inside or the bottom, just basically anywhere that you can see it. And then I thought we would cover that little tinsel bunny rabbit with moss all over. I've used those tinsel items before from the Dollar Tree, where I've tried to paint the tinsel green to make them look kind of mossy. And it kind of depends on, you have to get like a perfect color of green, and I don't think it looks too convincing. And so I'm not going to go that route. I'm just going to use reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree and attach that to it. And a lot of times I take the tinsel off before I DIY one of these little bunnies or one of these little tinsel structures from the Dollar Tree. But I thought it would be easier to have all this tinsel to glue that moss to. And so I'm just going to leave it on there. But I do want to get like the hanger, the mouth, the nose, the eyes all off. The eyes are probably the hardest to get off. I just kind of cut them off. And then the little bunny ears that they had on there are just made out of paper. So those are really easy. But it's the perfect size, I think, for that pot. And I think it's going to make a really cute little topiary. So that's what we're starting with. And then this is the reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree. I always try to make sure this is kind of a little bit damp when I buy it, because it makes it easier to work with, and I think it looks nicer. One of you guys said that you could always spray it with a spray bottle as well before you start working with it, and that is a great idea. So just going to start working one section at a time. I'm just going to put down a little bit of hot glue and moss and glue that down. Basically, this was probably the most time-consuming project that we did today, just because I have to cover the entire bunny with moss. But it was still really easy if you think about it, because we're just gluing moss to a bunny and putting it into a pot. So I think all of these DIYs today were really pretty simple, really fun to DIY. So I'm just kind of concentrating on one ear and gluing on the front of the ear, the sides of the ear, and the back. When I pick up a piece of moss, the bigger the piece that you can get, the better, and kind of a thin piece so you can kind of just lay that out and shape it down to size. So we're going to speed this way up and glue the second ear. I want it to be like super cute from the front and the back, but I don't really want any of that white tinsel to show through. I wonder if it would be easier to cover the white tinsel if I were to have painted it first. then it would kind of blend in a little bit better, because I did find that I was struggling with the little white holes of tinsel like peeking through. I didn't want to see any of that in the final product. So we got both sides of the ears filled, and now we just need to cover like the bunny's face and the back of the bunny's head with moss. That section was probably a little bit easier. And one package got me pretty far on that bunny, and I had to open up a second package to do the other side of his face. So once you get it on there, you'll be able to see if you still have areas to cover, like the sides are going to still need to be covered anywhere that you see any of the white shining through. And as you kind of get it glued down, you can pull off any of the excess moss. But don't get too crazy with it, because then you're going to be able to see the tinsel through it. Just trying to get it as full as I can. And then once I get it all glued on there, I'm just going to go in there with my scissors and give it a very quick haircut. Trying not to cut it so short that you can see the tinsel underneath of it, because, the tinsel is a little bit long. So there was a little bit to cover there. But it did work out pretty cute. And I love the look of the little topiary bunny head. I think it's so fun for Easter. So we got it all covered. Now, again, our little terracotta pot from the Dollar Tree. I thought we would just weigh it down, just with some pebbles. I have some pebbles from the Dollar Tree, but you can use whatever you have. Sometimes I go out in my landscaping and steal my lava rock. The Dollar Tree rocks are probably cheaper. And then I needed something to glue the bunny head to kind of stick it down in there. So I just picked a piece of floral foam from the Dollar Tree and just kind of trimming it down where it will fit in there, but it's not too high. Just to kind of space that out. And then I'm going to cover that section with some more of that Spanish or reindeer moss, not Spanish moss. So it'll look like the pot is overflowing with the moss, with the little moss bunny head sitting right on top. So you could use you're using the foam, you could use a post down in there, but I just used hot glue, and I just hot glued both the head and the top of that foam piece covered in moss, and it actually worked pretty well just to glue that on there. And it's not glued to the pot or anything at all, so I could always remove it if I needed to after Easter, and this is how it turned out. Our little topiary, isn't it cute? I thought the pot was a little plain, so I thought I could dress it up with a little trim, and they have the cutest trim at the Dollar Tree this year. They have bunnies, chicks. This one is the carrots. It's a little orange trim pack, and it had this adorable little Easter bunny ribbon. I thought that would be the perfect decoration for my pot, and it would bring in a little bit of color and a little bit of carrots. So I'm just going to cut that ribbon down to size. It's kind of neat, those trim packs. They have the zigzag, they have the decorative ribbon, and then they also have the little pom-pom garland on there as well. I picked those up in pink, yellow, and orange. And so I'm just going to hot glue that ribbon to the front, or the back, I guess, and string that around and hot glue the other end to the back as well. And that's pretty much the only decoration we're going to do for the pot. I think he's now perfect. So cute. Let me show you what he looks like sitting in my house for Easter. Isn't he cute? I love that mossy feel, especially for spring DIYs. And you could even put the bunny head up on a dowel or something like that to kind of make a suspended topiary. That would be really cute as well. Hey guys, if you're enjoying today's video, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. The next DIY is going to be super easy. I thought we would make a really cute, easy little Easter sign using one of these new wood signs they have at the Dollar Tree. This is the whitish one. You could use any of them though. It's just the right size for this DIY. I picked up some of these they kind of look like little Peep Bunnies headbands from the Dollar Tree, and I just took them off. Now, I did find that the little springy that is attached between the tail and the little felt bunny was really on there. I thought it would be easy to kind of like pull that off. A lot of times Dollar Tree items are easy to dismantle, but this one was like really surprisingly in there. But I really need to get it off. So I tried cutting it off. That did not really work. And so I did end up having to use pliers to go in there and kind of pull it out. And I finally got it out. But I wanted to use 3 of these, like in different pastel colors, to do like a blue bunny, a pink bunny, and a purple bunny, the pastel colors. But I'm going to kind of put mine face down with a little bunny tail sticking out in front. I think that looks really cute. Now, if you didn't want to do the headband root, they also have these available in like a little plaid bunny. I'll show you here in a second. Just about the same size, that would work as well. And it might be a little easier because, as you can see, I completely even pulled off the bunny tail on that one. I cannot believe how well they were glued on. I guess they didn't want these things to fall apart. But I'm just going to use 3 of them, so I'll have 3 left over for another DIY later. And I thought they looked really cute side by side like that. We could make a really cute, simple little Easter sign. So I also picked up a wood word to put over to the right at the Dollar Tree. These come 3-to package. This one says hop and it has a little bunny on there. So I thought that would be perfect. I do kind of want to make that a pastel color as well. And since we had the pastel blue, the pastel pink, the pastel lavender, I thought we could do like a mint green color, but I didn't really have that color. So I'm just going to mix a couple of colors together, blues and greens, to try to get that mint green color. And that looks pretty close to what I was wanting. And so I'm just using a little makeup sponge and painting that on the front. Just a simple way to paint these without getting any paint on the sides. And I think that's going to be a nice color that's going to go with that pastel color scheme we're going with the sign. I love like the wood frame on the sign. I think that's perfect. And these are just the cutest little signs because they're already blank and you can DIY them any way you want. So I'm just going to hot glue our little hop over here once I get it fairly dry. And then we can just attach our little Easter bunnies. I think these kind of look like little peep bunnies. They're so cute. So this one I'm going to have to glue the tail back on. I didn't do too much damage back there though when I pulled it off. Just a fun little sign and absolutely so easy to put this together. And time for the little blue one. Now, I was thinking I didn't really want to cover up the frame because I think the frame looks really cute, but I thought it needed a little bit more color for Easter, so I thought we would just replace the hanger. I picked up some of these wood bead garlands at the Dollar Tree, and the colors are almost perfect. There's like a purple, a pink, a blue, pretty close to what we're using, and so I thought we could just switch out the hanger with that. Now, they also have these pastel colored wood beads available at Dollar Tree in a package. If you can't find this one, you could always string your own on twine fairly easy. So I just cut off the tassel and I just take a couple beads off until I can have enough twine where I can just knot that so I'll have something to attach to the back of my sign. And then using the existing hanger that was on there before, I'm just measuring out about how long I need it to be. And then I'm going to cut that twine as well. So I have enough room to make a little knot here. I'm going to staple mine to the back like they had stapled theirs. Because the frame is there, it's actually thick enough for me to use my staple gun. And so I just staple the little knots on there. Easy peasy. And this like really added, I think, that final touch of color that I was looking for an Easter sign. It really goes with my decor and I love the pastel vibe. And let me show you how this looks. I'm going to hang this on the side of my kitchen cabinet for Easter. And I think it looks so springy and fun. The wood bead on the hanger, I think, definitely made the difference and made everything go together so well. I love crafting with the headbands. There's some great options. This year, I think they even have like a little tie-dye bunny headband. Hey guys, check these out. Dollar Tree has Easter pillowcases just like they had pillowcases for Christmas. Do you remember the cute ones they had for Christmas? They're really high quality. They have little zippers on the bottom. You can add your own pillow in there. I got both kinds. They had pink ones, they had blue ones. They have the little silhouette of a bunny on them. And they're that like buffalo check. The back is like this great like burlap material. I love these and they're so easy. For Christmas, I used some of these outside as well on my bench and they held up great in the weather. But you could also use them on your sofa or anywhere. This is what one of the Christmas ones look like. And inside there, I used the little $5 pillows from the Dollar General. They fit in there perfectly. Or you could use whatever you have. And I don't even know if this is considered a DIY because basically you just put your own pillow in there. Super easy. There's a few wrinkles in there, but you don't have to worry about them. They work their way out fairly quick. Now, since it was like the back of the bunny, they have their little tail like part being cut out. And I thought it would be even cuter to add a little bunny tail to mine. So I'm going to DIY mine a little bit. I had another one of those white pom-poms from the Target dollar spot. I'm just going to cut off the string and glue that on. And look how cute that is. I mean, seriously. That pillow cover for $1.25 is a great deal. So I don't know how much of a DIY it is. More of a Dollar Tree find, but I did DIY it a tiny bit by adding that cute little bunny tail on there. But if you're going to be using it a lot, you might not want the bunny tail on there. It might get in the way, but I thought it would be cute detail. And you know what? You can also craft with these. I've also made things with this material instead of using it as a pillowcase. I'm going to use one of these wood rounds from the Dollar Tree. So easy to DIY, and an adorable little bunny window decal that I got at the Dollar Tree as well. So I want to start with the wood round first. I want to do like something basic with it, but I want it to be a blue. So I thought we could, instead of just painting it, kind of make a stain by mixing some Caribbean blue acrylic together with some water and just make a blue tinted stain. That way we can stain the wood. You can still see like that wood grain through it. But I want it to look a little bit coastal, a little bit beachy, but I think this color is really pretty for Easter as well because it is a nice pastel color. So I just stain the whole thing and then I'm just going to wipe off the excess with a paper towel just to kind of dry it off and see how that beautiful wood grain still comes through. I love that for this project. And then check out this adorable window cling bunny from the Dollar Tree. It's got little flowers by its ears. It's so cute. So we're just going to simply Mod Podge that to the front of our Easter sign by putting a thin coat of matte Mod Podge down. Whenever I pick up my Mod Podge at Dollar Tree, I always try to get the matte one because I don't like the sheen. And then just smoothing out our little bunny. I saw this decal and I could not resist. It's so cute. I love bunnies. I think they're adorable. So I love decorating for Easter. So I'm going to go over the top of the decal with another coat of that Mod Podge to seal this down and make sure it's not going to go anywhere. I give that a quick dry with my heat gun, and then we can further decorate this. I wanted to do something around the edges so it's not quite so plain, and I found these little rub-on decals at the Dollar Tree, and they're like all different kinds of like seashells and like sea creatures, and I'm kind of picking out the ones that are like that tealish blue color that's going to coordinate well with it. And just kind of cutting those out. The only challenging part of these is cutting them out without trying to cut any of the other ones, so you can save those. But I kind of wanted to just like frame it out with some sea creatures around the edges just to bring a coastal feel into my DIY. This would be really cute if you left it as is, but I did want to add some little coastal touches to mine. So you just peel the back off, stick it down, and rub it. I like to use one of those little Cricut scrapers from the Dollar Tree. Um, and I find that gets it down really well. Sometimes these things go down like amazing. And sometimes you have to put them back down and go after it a couple times, but always kind of check when you're peeling it off to make sure it's down, because if not, you can lay it back down and scrape it some more and get like a better finish. But I'm just going to do like 3 here on each side. And I think that just provides a nice little subtle detail around the edges of this little side. And I love these wood rounds from the Dollar Tree. They're in such a nice big size. I actually bought a whole case of them online because I was having trouble finding them at my stores, and had it shipped for free to my Dollar Tree. So that's always an option if it's something that you're going to use a lot of, like a wood round like this. And we got 3 scraped on this side. I think they look super cute. Now I want to kind of just distress the whole thing with some ivory acrylic and a chunky brush from a Dollar Tree, just to kind of give it that coastal farmhouse vibe. I like to distress when I use window decals because it's going to kind of take away that perfect look and kind of make it look a little bit more hand painted. So just kind of distressing in one direction, following that up with a baby wipe to kind of blend that in and make sure that I don't have it distressed too heavily. You do have to be careful with the baby wipe to make sure that you don't take off your Mod Podge, because you want to keep that level of sheen. Now for the hanger, I thought we could just dress it up a little bit. This is the hanger that came with it, but I'm just going to add some Dollar Tree wood beads that I had left over from a wood bead garland. And we're just going to decorate the hanger just to make it a little bit more special. I love to add wood beads. It would also be really cute if you used the Easter one, the Easter wood bead garland. They have like a pastel colored one that would be really cute for this as well. But I'm just going to use the natural color wood beads and reattach that to our sign. Isn't that bunny just the cutest? I love it. And this is how it turned out. This is how it looks hanging in my home for Easter. Isn't that just the cutest? I love the little subtle coastal details, but it makes it go really nicely with my decor. And I really love that bunny decal. I'm not sure if he's available this year, but if he is, you should try to grab him. Okay, our next DIY, I got one of these little tinsel Easter baskets from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to give it a coastal makeover as well. But first, we have to get all this tinsel off. You guys know I love DIYing the tinsel projects from the Dollar Tree because you get this great cage for $1.25, and you can kind of make it into anything. Now, this one was a little bit challenging because I wasn't sure how I was going to like replace the tinsel on the eggs, but I'll show you what I ended up doing with this. I'm just a matter of getting it all off there. Sometimes it helps to cut it down the middle to get started, and then you just kind of have to take it off the little tabs that are around the edges, and it's going to give us this great little Easter basket shape. And a pro tip, the little lint rollers from the Dollar Tree work great to clean up the mess from that. Now I'm going to go ahead and just clip the bottom part of it off because it was a little bigger than I needed it to be, and I wanted to cover it with seagrass. So I got one of these little spring purses from the Dollar Tree. I think it looks, kind of like a seagrass finish, especially this tan color. And I'm just going to cut the little bag in half. They also have these like in pink and blue. I love this. I think this color looks great for coastal decorating. So I'm just going to cut the strap off. It's going to give me a piece that's just the right size. And this is one reason why I shortened the basket, is because the fabric was not going to be long enough to cover the whole thing. But I have done bigger projects by using the bigger bags from the Target Dollar Spot. Now for the eggs, I'm just cutting that front section of the plastic off so that I can do my own eggs in there, and I thought the little foam eggs from the Dollar Tree might be perfect for this. But I was afraid you could see the little tabs if I were just to attach it to the frame, so I'm just using some like heavy-duty KitchenAid scissors and going around and snipping off the tabs just from the eggs. Just so I'll have a nice flat surface where I can attach those eggs. And I never know what to do with these little foam decorations. Like they have the bunnies and stuff like that. I always have trouble trying to figure out how to DIY them, but this actually turned out really well with these. But I only need like a half an egg. So I'm just going to use a serrated knife and my cutting mat from the Dollar Tree and cut these little guys in half. That way I can just attach it to the front there. I'm just going to need 3 of them, 3 little egg halves, and then I can paint them whatever colors I want. And I found that to be a great solution. Now, I didn't want to interfere with the basket part, so you can see the eggs were just a tiny bit long. So I'm just trimming them down to size so they won't interfere with the basket part. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach those now by hot gluing those to the little plastic cage and see how they're just the right size to fit on that little Easter basket. You do have to work quickly if you're hot gluing a styrofoam like that though, because it does like to melt, but it does still work. So just gluing all the way around, and you can see it was definitely necessary to cut the tabs off because you would definitely be able to see them if I had not. Because they're just the right size. So there's our 3 little Easter eggs. I thought we could paint them like 3 little pastel colors. These are the colors I'm using: celery, terracotta pot, and the blue one I think is lagoon. Doesn't matter. Just I wanted like 3 like spring colors that would go well. And so I'm just going to paint those, and it doesn't have to be chalk paint. That's just what I had in those pastel colors. So we're going to do the center one that like, I think it's lagoon blue. And this one like that light green, that celery color. That's a really pretty color. And then the last one, we're going to do that terracotta pot. That is a paint color that I got at Target. I love it. I think it's so pretty. I use that a lot for Valentine's Day. And I wanted to go ahead and get these all painted and everything before I start covering it with my seagrass. That way I won't have to worry about getting paint on my seagrass. Now this is the strap from the bag, and we're going to use that for the strap of the Easter basket just by gluing that around like the outside cage. And it's a little bit flexible, so you can pull it around and do the other side as well, just by bending it. And I just trimmed that down to size. Now you can tell that the handle for that is wider than the handle of the purse, so I will have to double that up to cover the entire cage there. So I'm just gonna cut the strap off the other side of the purse. And I love DIYing with these. I always DIY with these purses every year. I always try to buy them at the end of Easter too, so that I kind of have them year round. Because they really give you that woven seagrass look with very little effort. And we're just going to glue that around. This one was a little bit too sharp of a turn, so I did have to cut it in the middle to get it to bend right to go all the way around. And that looks pretty good. So there's the handle for our little Easter basket. And now I want to use the back of the purse that we cut off before to cover the basket part. Isn't that cute? So I just need to attach it to the cage. And I'm just going to put hot glue on all of the surfaces that I can, working as quickly as I can so that it does not dry. And then just sitting that on there. Now be careful because that glue is going to seep through. So make sure you don't burn yourself. And then I can flip it over. I kind of trimmed it down a little bit to be more of the shape of it. And I'm going to trim off the bottom as well. And kind of pull it around the edges like that to hide any of the little tabs. Now I wanted to decorate it with something on the front of the basket, and I got these cute little bunny garland from the Dollar Tree, and I really like the blue and white gingham one. And so we're just going to pop that off the garland, and it's going to be ready to go. A great little decoration for the front of our Easter basket. Just going to simply hot glue that on. And this was a really easy Easter DIY, but I think it looks so great hanging in my kitchen. Now this is ribbon I got at the Dollar Tree. It says Happy Easter, and it's that beautiful blue color that I love. I'm just going to tie a simple little bow where you can read like the writing and stuff on the loops and the tails of our little bow, and kind of just put it over here on the side. Just as a cute little final touch. And I'm going to use this as a hanging decor, kind of like it was before, but I think mine looks way more high end. What do you guys think about this little coastal Easter basket DIY? I think it's so cute. I'm just going to take twine, wrap that around the handle, and that's going to be the hanger. I was really pleased with how this one turned out, and I'll show you later on in this video how I do a smaller version of this as well. And this is how it looks hanging on the side of my cabinets and my kitchen. Just a really fun makeover of one of those little decorations from the Dollar Tree. Hey guys, I'd like to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about my private Facebook group. I always have it linked in the description below. Love to see you over on Facebook. I also have a Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. My handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube on all of those, and I would love to see you on any and all of those. Okay, the next DIY is going to be really easy. I found this great blue Happy Easter egg from the Dollar Tree, and look how coastal it already looks. It's like light blue, it looks like wood, it's got the galvanized metal bunny on there. I want to make it like a standing sign, and so I have that little wood cactus that we're going to use for a stand, but you could use whatever you have. Now, to give it a coastal charm, we're going to use some of these glass stickers from the Dollar Tree. They have little starfish and seashells. So cute. Even like little coral on there. And even though they're glass stickers, they're pretty much going to stick to whatever you've got. And I'm just going to kind of create a border, kind of similar to what we did on the bunny rabbit earlier. Just to go around the edges of our Easter egg, just to give a little bit of coastal decor there. Then instead of filling up the hole at the top there, since it's all painted nicely, I'm just going to use some twine from the Dollar Tree, tie a simple bow, and just glue that on the hole to cover that up. I always like to disguise those holes if I can. But the color is perfect for coastal, I think, and it says Happy Easter. I love the little galvanized bunny. The flowers aren't too much. And this I thought would make a perfect little stand. I've been using the metal stands a lot. That would work really well. But the cactus works good because it's got like all these little cactus arms that you could hot glue to the back of your project. And we're just going to simply glue that to the back. I'm not going to bother painting it or anything. I'm just going to kind of leave it natural wood. I think it's going to go with the coastal Easter decor, and I told you this one was going to be easy. This is how it turned out. And I love the little tiny coastal touches. They really do have some cute Easter signs, and converting them into a standing sign like this is a great idea. Okay, I told you I was going to show you how we could make a smaller version of the little seagrass Easter basket. So they also have this little tiny tinsel Easter basket, kind of the same thing as the wall hanging, but you're going to get like the 3D piece. It's got the front and the back. And so I'm just going to remove all of the tinsel that's on there, and we're going to make just a little seagrass Easter basket. This would be really good for like an Easter tier tray. And again, we're just going to use one of those little basket purses from the Dollar Tree. So the handle on this, the cage kind of comes apart like you can see. And then I thought the best way to cover the handle would be just to take the handle from the bag and simply wrap it around the little plastic form for the handle. It's going to give me really good coverage. So I just started at one end and wrapped that all the way around. It does kind of come apart a little bit there, you can see. And I'm just going to hot glue that down. But I can still leave the little hoop loop on there to reattach that to the basket. So we have both sides glued down, and that's how it fits together with the cage, and it's got little spikes there to kind of stab the eggs in between. So we're just going to start cutting up this purse to get some seagrass for the basket. And I tell you, this definitely looks a lot better than the tinsel, I think. So just kind of measuring that out to size to make sure it's going to fit, attaching it with some hot glue right around the top of the Easter basket and gluing that down. It's really almost the exact same shape as before, so I'm going to kind of do the same technique. I'm going to cut it down to size where there is enough to go around the sides as well, but not too much. And then just hot gluing that around the corners here. And gluing that down. Then just trimming off the excess there on the bottom, and then we're just going to glue the other side as well. Definitely be careful on this step that you're not burning yourself. I just want enough to cover the cage and nothing more. It's looking super cute. Now we need to do the same thing with the back of the decoration as well, the little basket. By using the other side of the purse, I'm just going to cut out another piece. And just kind of repeating the same process using my finished edge for the top. Gives me a nice straight edge. Making sure I have enough to go around the sides, but not too much. And then I can just glue that to the sides like before. Now the little plastic pegs on the little cage are still there so that I can put this little Easter basket back together. But there are also little stakes in there to kind of hold the eggs in place. And so I kind of need to deal with the eggs at this point too. I actually had some eggs. These are just some foam eggs I had left over from an old Easter decoration that kind of fell apart. And they're the perfect color, so I'm going to use them to replace the little eggs that were already in there. Just because those had glitter. And since I have these, the colors are perfect. You could always paint the foam ones as well, or paint over the glitter if you don't like the glitter. And then just using hot glue, I'm going to reattach my cage. So using the pegs to put it back together, but the hot glue is also going to glue it in there. And those little spikes hold the little eggs in place as well. Whenever you have like a decoration fall apart like that, be sure to save the pieces because you can find some good stuff. And then I'm just going to, for the greenery, I'm just going to use reindeer moss. There's not a lot of room, but I'm just going to kind of sprinkle that down in there, kind of sticking out. Instead of using like a tensely Easter grass, this is going to look a little bit more natural. And then, of course, I want another coastal touch, so I'm going to finish it off with a starfish. This is a starfish that I just got on Amazon, but you could always use the ones from the Dollar Tree. How cute is that little Easter basket? I love it. This is how it looks just hanging, sitting on my shelf for Easter in front of some grass. And I think it turned out really sweet. A nice small little Easter decoration. I love the little coastal touch on there, but that's totally optional for your style of decor. We're going to use one of these little flags from the Dollar Tree. I guess they're called flags. I don't know what else to call them. Wall hangings. And a little bamboo wreath from the Dollar Tree. And I thought we could make a little mini Easter wreath. It's just about the right size, and I thought we could just cut this little like pennant sign down to size, just using the wreath form, kind of as a template to know where I can cut it down. And it's going to be a cute little background behind my wreath that is also going to act like a sign. I like the colors on it. I think it's really pretty, the pastels for Easter. The Happy Easter part, that was a little bright and shiny, as you can see there. But I'm going to tone that down a little bit. I'm just going to use some matte Mod Podge to try to take away some of the gleam because it was just so super shiny. I'm just kind of sealing that down. Now here is our wreath form, and we're going to start decorating this guy. I'm going to start with just a hanger. While I can, I'm just going to take some twine and tie a simple knot to the top. And then we can start decorating this. I kind of wanted to do like a tropical foliage from the Dollar Tree. It can be kind of whatever you want, but I definitely wanted to do something a little bit more coastal, a little bit more tropical. And so I thought these leaves would be really good. we're just gonna start cutting those off and sticking that down into the little jute that's already wrapped around it. It makes it super easy to decorate by just sliding your greenery down right inside. So we're just going to keep working our way around, filling that up with the greenery. And then I'm going to switch it up to like a different kind of leaf just for a little bit of variety. But this has got that nice like variegated pattern on the leaves as well. And just kind of start alternating that in there as well. I just want a nice leafy wreath. Now these leaves were didn't quite keep the shape quite as well as the first set that we used, so I am going to have to shape those up a little bit just using some twine. Just some additional twine that I can kind of wrap around those to kind of make those go exactly where I want them to be. And you'll never know that there's more twine on there because it kind of goes with what was already on the little bamboo wreath. Just tying that off at the end, and that definitely helped to shape it up a little bit. Now I wanted to add some flowers, and I thought these looked really nice and coastal. And they're like a beachy blue color. I thought that would be really pretty for Easter, and they're also like a pastel color. So I'm just going to cut off the stems short enough where I can kind of stab those down into it, just kind of alternating with the tropical leaves. So pretty. I love it. Now I did hot glue those down a little bit just to make sure they stayed in place. And they were like a little bit different size flowers, but that's okay as well. Now here is that Happy Easter sign. I still thought it was a little too bright for my coastal vibe, so I am going to distress it with a little ivory paint as well, just to kind of mute that down a little bit. Just personal preference. But this makes a great background for the wreath because it's just the right size, and then it's going to also say Happy Easter. Now it's ready to go, and we can attach it to the back of this wreath. My lighting is really bright on my work desk, so it's kind of hard to see at this point. I apologize for that. And just kind of flip it over, figure out where my top is, and then we can just simply attach that to the back. I did cut it out maybe a little bit too big, so I'm cutting off a little bit of the excess fabric so that you can't see it from the sides. And then I'm just going to simply attach that to the back of our wreath form with a little bit of hot glue. Just kind of going around the edges. And gluing that down to it. This was just a simple little mini wreath. This would look great hanging on your wall for Easter, or a door, or maybe even a cabinet. Then I wanted, of course, a little bit of coastal decor. So I'm going to use some Dollar Tree seashells and just kind of work those around the wreath. Using different colors, shapes, and sizes, just kind of having them peek out behind the tropical leaves, just for another little coastal touch. And I thought that was the perfect final step in this DIY. You can't go wrong with seashells ever in my decorating. So just one seashell between each flower. And this is how it looks. This is how it looks with better lighting. You can kind of see that muted Happy Easter behind it. And this is how it looks on my door to my garage. Super cute for Easter. And you know I love adding a coastal touch whenever I get a chance. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about memberships. For $4.99 a month, you're going to get early ad-free access to my videos, and it's a quick, easy way for you to support me here on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, our next DIY, we're going to try a different kind of a carrot patch, just using a plastic pot from the Dollar Tree. I really liked this one because even though I didn't really like the colors, it's got like a great wood texture on it. and I thought it'd be really cute to try to DIY. So I'm going to use some ivory chalk paint, and we are going to paint this a nice, you know, kind of an antique white color. I really like to use that in my DIYs. I have a lot of that in my house. I find it goes really well with my beach decor and the blues that I use a lot in my house. And I'm using chalk paint just because I really wanted good coverage to go over all of those dark colors. But I really do like the texture on this sign because you can kind of still see it, kind of makes it look like wood. And I thought we could make this big pot into another version of a carrot patch, kind of on a larger scale. This would be really cute for your front porch for Easter, or you could use it inside as well. So I got all of the sides painted and just around the lip. I'm not really going to worry about the bottom. You're not going to be able to see that, or the inside. So that's how it looks, and now we need to start filling it up. I kind of pairing together just some leftover foam pieces I have from the Dollar Tree from other DIYs, just because I kind of have a lot of space to fill up in there, but you can kind of use whatever you've got. And then on top of that, I'm just going to put some reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree in there to give me a nice little greenery background for my little carrot patch. And then I found some of these green picks from the Dollar Tree in their crafter square section. I love these. I thought these were really cute. They're very like fern-like, and they're a nice size, and they're just picks that you could just stab down into that foam and give a nice effect there. I wanted to kind of go all the way around, so I'm using 2 packages there so a total of 6. And then these little bottle brush Christmas, they're like Christmas trees, but they're the carrots from the Dollar Tree. And I just got several packages of those. I think those are so cute. I love to DIY with these. They look so high end from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to start piling those little bottle brush carrots around. The texture makes them really easy to stick in with the greenery and stay put. Now, for the little bunny that's going to be sticking out of this one, I thought we would use these little bunny paw picks from the Dollar Tree and have like a big bunny sticking out of this with little bunny legs going up in the air. I love the fact that it's like a blue and white gingham on the bunny legs, so I think that'll totally match my decor. And little pink toes. They're kind of skinny, I think, for a bunny leg, but we're gonna work with it. I am gonna cut the picks down a little bit because they were a little bit too long. And just kind of stab those right in the center of our foam here. And this is just gonna be just a way bigger version of the carrot patch. Now, once I get them in there, I'm going to use a little bit more of that greenery that I have, and we're just going to keep filling this up just to make it look a little bit fuller. The bunny is like deep in there. And then I also am going to use a few more of those little bottle brush carrots, just kind of scattering those around, filling it up for our little carrot patch. I'm going to finish it off with a little bit more reindeer moss around the edges, just to make sure it's full and you can't see any of the foam around it. And this DIY is almost complete. Once I get it nice and full, I do want to decorate the pot a little bit. I do like that white wood look, but I thought we'd add a few more bunnies to it. And I got some of these cute little, I guess they're like little felt craft kits from the Dollar Tree, where they have these cute little white felt bunnies in there, and I thought we could DIY something with these. So it's like the white bunny, it's got like the eyes and like the little toe pads like already on there. And then it also comes with like a few more pieces like the little bow ties and stuff like that. And I thought we would just kind of glue these all around the edges of the pot to make a cute little bunny pot. Super cute and a great way to get a bunch of little bunnies to craft with. I'm just using the bunny part and just going to attach that with hot glue, kind of scatter those all the way around the pot. I didn't really use any of the other pieces that were in there, like there was a little bow tie and stuff like that. I thought that was a little too colorful. I just kind of wanted a white bunny pot for a little carrot patch. And I have enough of these, I think, to go all the way around this large pot. And they're so easy to attach with just a little bit of hot glue. I'm using just the little lines on there to kind of space them out evenly. Just to try to give me a more finished spacing there on the final product. And we're going to keep gluing those all the way around our little carrot patch. And this one is almost finished. I love it. And again, with the carrot patch, you can use whatever greenery you have on hand. And you could also use the other kinds of carrots for this as well. But I really like those bottle brush ones. Super cute. And this is how my little bunny pot turned out. I think this would be really cute on a front porch for Easter. It's definitely really sweet and whimsical and fun with the little bunny feet sticking out from the top. I found this great little bunny gnome at the Dollar Tree, and you know I love it because it's blue. It's this light blue color. I thought we could give this little bunny gnome just a cute little makeover, just to give him a few more details. I thought he was a little bit plain. The bunny ears are so cute, his little beard and nose as well. And I'm totally digging that striped blue hat. I'm just going to kind of trim off any excess glue on there and just try to make him look a little bit nicer. I kind of wanted to decorate his hat, and so I'm going to use some of those white felt letters from the Dollar Tree and spell out a word. I don't have a lot of room to spell out a word on there, but I thought it'd be really cute to do hop on there. That would be a really cute little Easter word. And so I'm just feeling through there. I like to use the felt on the fabric hats for gnomes because, or I guess gonks. I'm never going to remember to call it that because it goes well with the fabric. And so they're also stickers. So how easy is that? You can just peel and stick. And it just kind of provided a little bit more decoration and fun to the little hat. But I do like his ears. His ears are kind of perfect. And I don't really want to do much with his outfit. He does have little blue feet. I do trim off the tag. And then I got some of this gingham egg ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And I thought we would just have him hold an Easter egg. So the blue one is perfect. The colors are perfect on that one. So I'm just going to pull that off. The twine that was on there. And then I'm just going to attach that to the front of our little Easter gnome to make it look like he's holding it. And it just provided a little bit more, a little bit more pizzazz. So I just glue that onto his tummy. And he does have these little flat blue arms there. I'm just going to glue his, where his hands would be, just kind of overlapping the egg. And this was just a really quick Easter DIY. I'm loving all of the big gnomes that they have at the Dollar Tree now. I just, did a whole bunch of them for my St. Patrick's Day tier tray. They're so cute. And there he is. Just a quick little makeover for this little bunny gnome. And this is how he turned out, our little hop. Our little hop bunny gnome. Just a fun idea of something that you can do with some of these little gnomes from the Easter. They're so cute and you don't even have to make them from scratch anymore, but I do prefer, I think, the ones made from scratch. They're so adorable. Hey guys, you made it all the way to the final reveal of all 15 of my best Easter DIYs using items from the Dollar Tree. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to leave your favorite DIY in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and please subscribe. Enjoy the final reveal.
When lights go out, when the 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 lights go out, when the
Where are you now? I hope you're fine, but I won't lie, I still miss you so much. But I don't hold grudge. You had to go. I will save you a space for a dance in the meadow on our favorite place when spring is coming. When lights go out, you're in my mind. I close my eyes, so it's just you and I tell myself you'll be back again when the stars are...
Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of my YouTube video. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to all of my Crafty Beach Bum members for supporting my channel. Thank you so much to Karen O'Haron, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Carrie R., Tracy Knight, Nancy Wunner, Julie Miller, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Maria Grace, Donna Schreiner, Sandy C., and I want to thank Janae for sending me some really fun items to DIY with in the mail. Now, if you'd like to watch more Dollar Tree DIYs, YouTube thinks that you might enjoy this video right here. Happy crafting and happy Easter.